Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Wrestling Bubble, TWB. Your co-hosts Anna and Richard. Tonight we're going to be talking about Wrestlemania 41. There are surprises, special guests, and returns, record-breaking. Strap in and let's get ready to talk about Wrestlemania 41 review. We're going to start off with Wrestlemania 41 Night 1. The first match I would like to bring up, in no particular order, we're going to talk about Jey Uso and Gunther. I believe this match was a match because I feel like I wasn't given more than what I was expecting. You know, Jey Uso is 0-3 against Gunther. Gunther is like one of the most dominant WWE superstars that they have on Raw for right now. And it's like you just put your brother basically in the hospital. And I didn't like the ending. Gunther should have never tapped out. He should have just passed out. He is a raw working breaker right now. And this is how you ended the story. Him tapping out quick as soon as he got locked in. That leaves me questions. What do you think?
Let me see. We've seen this match 4 times now. Jey Uso lost all 3 leading up to this match. And to no one's surprise, the match was not, like a 5-star classic or anything like that. It just seemed to come across like they showed up for Jey to get the belt. The transaction was made. Where do we go from here? Exactly. Yeah, because for Gunther to tap out in 4 seconds, there was no struggle, there was nothing. It was just like, okay, you got it. It was almost like a Las Vegas screw job, but he screwed himself. I don't know, man. I expected more. And there wasn't even that Lord forgive me for what I'm gonna do at WrestleMania.
Exactly.
There was none of that, because you never got the feeling like this guy just choked people out for weeks leading up to it. He just choked your brother out, he wasn't just covered in his blood. There was none of that. That's why when Jey said it the other night on Raw, I really didn't believe what he was saying. Cause I'm just man, once that bell rings, none of that is gonna look like
you would think
you meant what you said.
Yeah, it's this build up. You finally admit that you're no longer scared of him, which is great. To me, I was expecting once the bell rang, it should have been an instant blow for a while and stuff. But I feel like this match didn't live up to its potential, to the story. But we did get Jey Uso to be a WWE World Heavyweight Champion on Saturday night. They expected it was going to be a party. I feel like, as of right now, he does deserve it. He has put in the work. He has shown that he loves what he does and stuff like that. He's one of the most sell merch right now. So it's why not make him shine for a little bit, see where this goes.
Yeah, in terms of employee of the month.
Yes.
I guess it's a reward. He'll probably lose it at Backlash or the pay-per-view after.
And
I don't see this being
question.
A long reign. We've already talked about that part before. You know what I would have liked to see in this match is I wanted it to be more like a brawl, like a fight. Right, spilling out into the ring, moments where it's Jey, remember, you got to get him in the ring to win. Remember what he did to your brother. Remember remember how he disrespected you and this and that. There needed to be some of that in this match, and we didn't get any of that. We just got moves. We got a quick, just nothing match. There was no emotion in this. So Jey won, and it didn't even really it didn't feel bigger. You know, it didn't feel like I don't know. It just didn't feel that important. Even though this was supposed to be like a really big moment, it just really didn't feel like it. I mean, I've seen bigger celebration with Jey Uso coming on weekly TV. You know, I've seen them run his song back multiple times just because they were so hype. And you figure, man, WrestleMania, over 60,000 people, whatever. Like, where was the hype? It just didn't feel important. Once it was over and once he had that belt, it just didn't feel special for whatever reason. And I want to say it's because there was no emotion in the match. There was not enough emotion to even get the crowd really concerned, like that. Hey, Jay may not be able to overcome this guy. There was none of that. So yeah, I just would have really liked some storytelling. You know, some against the odds, underdog feel, something. Like, there was none of that.
Well, we got Jey Uso for the win. He basically tapped Gunther out on his own submission, the rare naked choke, and now Jey is the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. We're just going to see how Triple H is going to book him from here. The next match, speaking of not a much action, this should have been more of a story. Honestly, this should have just been on a regular TV show. I will have to go with the WWE Tag Team Champion match. The New Day versus the War Raiders.
I like the New Day, and I like the War Raiders when they were the Viking Raiders. I don't care for the War Raiders, and I'm sure most people didn't care for the War Raiders. And you know, the New Day, I like the promos they've been cutting. You know, thank God for the New Day. Like, they're killing it. But it seems like they got cooled off, and now we're just now really starting the New Day push. So this was another transaction. All right, we're wrestling at WrestleMania. Let's get the belt on these guys. Thank you for showing up. Okay, now a new chapter can begin. Same thing that happened with Jey Uso. You know, it was just a transactional match. Let's just get the belt over here. Okay, thanks for showing up, and we'll see where the story goes.
I'm actually glad the New Day won. I hope they actually continue a very decent title reign, better than anybody in Raw who won the belt, because this new character work that the New Day is doing has really, to me, has been one of the best character work. I'm pretty sure I said that before, and honestly I mean it, because when they won those belts, it's the ending that really sold me.
Oh, that's exactly when I tapped in. Yo, I mean, they basically stole them belts. They didn't even stop running until they got to the top of the ramp.
Just so
I mean, they like thieves in the night.
Happened.
Yo.
And I'm glad. Like, yes, I do prefer this match to be on a regular, network television. They should have put the Street Profits in this type of match, but
that TLC match that they're doing,
it's
next.
Friday.
That should have been on WrestleMania.
Yeah,
that should have definitely been a WrestleMania worthy, because all those teams have been putting in work.
Yeah,
just like everybody remembers, like Andrade and Carmelo with their 7-match series. I mean, they put in work. Now Melo just won the Battle Royal, the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, but like, realistically, I mean, look, Andrade, nowhere on the card. Carmelo, really nowhere on the card. Like, they put in work. I mean, it would have been nice to see the match to end. This is for all the chips type of thing, right? Whoever wins this match, whatever your record was before, winner takes it all. So that's your pride and dignity match right there. Not the the main event of night one, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get there. The next match we can discuss is Gracias! Andrade versus Rey Fenix. Rey Fenix had to fill in for Rey Mysterio because it seems to me that he has what I'm guessing people are saying ankle injury or something during Friday night.
Yeah, some kind of injury Friday.
So he'll be out just for a while. I'm pretty sure they're going to run it back, as everyone probably don't know or do know that El Grande Americano won. He basically cheated putting this metal plate in his forehead. So the next thing we're going to see, I'm pretty sure Ray and him is going to revisit each other. If it's not Backlash, I'm thinking Money in the Bank, or what's another pay-per-view they got coming out? Probably SummerSlam.
Yeah. Honestly though, this isn't even like we got to find a way to circle back to Otis. Like
I feel like they will, but honestly, when it comes to El Grande fighting Rey Fenix, part of me feel like Dragon is going to betray Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, I mean, think about that. Rey Fenix literally just got there. Mm-hmm. He's already wrestling at Wrestlemania on behalf of Rey Mysterio.
Yep.
Okay, who's been next to Rey Mysterio this whole time? Dragon Lee. Okay, before Rey Fenix came,
exactly,
they were saying Dragon Lee was like one of the best luchadors today, and now they're talking about Rey Fenix. I mean,
granted, there's about to be a draft soon, so it's either Rey Fenix going to Raw or LW is going to SmackDown, because I could see a storyline between Dragon Lee and Rey Fenix.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio on the pole match.
Yeah, something like that, because it seems to me every time Ray sees a new toy, he pushes the old one to the side, and then he never learns why Dominic calls him a deadbeat, which we'll get into.
You know what? That honestly, I mean, that would be some good long-term booking. I'm sure they're not actually looking at, but yeah. Mm-hmm. And then it would actually kind of justify Dominic calling Ray a deadbeat dad.
Exactly.
Yo, because it could be one of those Ray didn't even notice that he actually does that. You know what I mean? And especially since Dominic is like kind of turning babyface.
I hope not.
But if you think about it, that would be like the perfect way for them to finally squash that between him and Ray.
We'll revisit that one.
Yeah.
Because speaking of squashing things, let's talk about the first ever women's non-title match. Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Let me start off by saying Naomi I love the new entrance. I'm adjusting to the music, but I love it. It makes sense. She's finally adapting to that caution character. Granted, new entrance, lost the match. I feel like Jade Cargill should have won, in my opinion, because now it's like she won the match. Naomi put in that work to the point she even carried the whole match. How y'all going to justify making Jade Cargill win? Because now that she won, what now? Is Naomi going to come back and say this is not over until I say it's over? Is Bianca finally going to snap and realize that she didn't have to worry about Jade?
Yeah, I would have loved to see Naomi win. But I'll start back, with her entrance. Like, love her new theme song. Like, we all knew, like, okay, if she just turned heel, then she needs to change that music. And this is more character driven. I like her new theme, and I liked the way her hair looked too. Mm-hmm. Like, it wasn't all puffy and all that. It was just kind of had the wet look and everything. I thought Naomi did really good in the match. She basically carried the match.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jade Cargill is still very green, and it made no sense for her to win this match. Like, when we could have easily got a sneak victory from Naomi. She could have cheated to win. She could have did something to further, her heel work and get some heat from the audience. This will get some sympathy for Jade. You know, as we push her more babyface and justify her going after Naomi. Which, if they were gonna do, if they ever turn Bianca heel, that'd be the easiest way to get to it as well. You know, tie her back into it. I don't know, man. Like, we all knew Jade was gonna win, but it just didn't make sense for her to win.
It didn't.
Naomi's been putting in all this work. Like, okay, so where do we go from here for Naomi? We'll have to wait and see.
Because to me, Jade, yes, she's a full package. Like, she has the look and everything, but she is green in the ring, in my opinion. Like, she did like this weird power bomb, and to me, I feel like it was somewhat of a botch. Because why go for a power bomb? Look like you try to pin it. I guess you flip her into your finisher. Part of me feel like that was a little botchy.
Yeah,
she's trying to go on top of the rope, and it's like, you're not there yet to be comfortable on top of the rope yet. So I was scared to see what's going to happen. I'm glad Naomi changed it up to a more safer route, because I'm like, if she does anything off them top rope, that's it for the match. Just me seeing her do that powerbomb tonight, I thought she was done.
Yeah, the finisher before the finisher, because like, I mean, she look, you had the match won with the first finish,
right?
Okay, there was no reason to pick her up and, you know, deliver Jaded. Like, what was the reason? She was already out.
Like, it's like everything has to be a pose for her.
Yeah, you know, that would have made sense if the way that they wrestled each other, like if it would have been more like a fight, like the way she attacked Naomi at Elimination Chamber. If we had some of that emotion in this match, then it would have made sense for her to do multiple finishers to end the match, you know, insult to injury. But we didn't really get any of that emotional build up leading to the finish.
I feel like this feud should continue going, and then they need to do like a remake, because it's been a while since we've seen a women Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, I mean, if there would have been some emotion in this match to complement the storyline that they've already, you know, the story they've been telling to lead up to this match. I mean, it was at Wrestlemania, right? So it should have felt like there was a big rivalry or something going on, right? I mean, there was nothing.
Yeah,
so it's like
more
even
emotions from Bianca and Naomi when Naomi finally told her she did it.
Right, exactly. There was more emotion there.
That's still questionable, as we see fans are now booing Bianca. So it's like, are we finally gonna get heel Bianca? Because you can't be babyface forever and call yourself the EST.
Yeah, I mean, the fans are already booing her. I think the fans just like, yo, we need you to turn heel ASAP. You know, like, because obviously it don't make no sense for everybody to be booing Bianca. What did she do? Like, she won the Elimination Chamber, and obviously that makes her #1 contender. If anybody, y'all should be booing Rhea, because what did you do? You lost the EO. Okay, keep it moving.
Right.
So, I don't know. Like, it is time for Bianca to, you know, go the heel route. Because we've seen babyface Bianca for like 5 years now. And it's been okay. Like, it was hot when it was hot. And now it's time to move on. So.
But I would have to say, yes, Jade won the match against Naomi. Personally, I feel like Naomi should have won. Hopefully they continue this feud and then build more emotion towards it, because then that'll help Jade bring more of a softer emotional instead of trying to look hard all the time, because right now she just looks stale in my opinion. But I know one wrestler who does not get booed, and that's Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight.
The Samoan Werewolf
is now our new United States champion.
I mean.
I'm actually happy for Jacob Fatu. He went from being the enforcer for Solo Sikoa to now somewhat doing his own thing with his family, with Solo and Tamatanga, to bring in his, you know, a title. And I feel like he's going to have a really good title run. And I really hope They do not do Solo versus Jacob Fatu. Just go ahead and delete that off the memory. Give him someone he can actually continue the storyline. Build up Solo and Tama Tonga into a stronger team instead of them losing all the time. And, you know, like, I hope he's actually going to be a great United States champion and actually give him a good title run, because so far I haven't really seen a decent title run since anybody won the United States, but I can't even tell you the last time.
Since John Cena.
Probably.
Well, which match we talking about?
Jacob Fatu versus
Jacob Fatu and LA Knight. This honestly was like kind of the start of the good matches. But I don't want to make it sound like there were that many good matches on night one. But this was definitely one of them. The match wasn't that long, which was okay, because this was another match just to kind of get the belt off of somebody, and the right person won. There was some cool moves in this match. There was like a BFT out of nowhere when Jacob did some kind of flip from the top rope,
trying to do his little moonsault. Yep.
Yeah, and LA Knight caught him with a BFT. that was cool. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, this match they woke up the fans actually. Out of all the matches, you could say they was somewhat awake for Jay and Gunther, but it's like they were more awake when LA Knight and Jacob Fatu came out, because it's like fans love both wrestlers, so it's like you can't boo both of them. It's like you hear Fatu, LA Knight, Fatu, LA Knight. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
you can't beat that. So it's like Jacob Fatu does deserve it. I believe LA Knight will be going for a different title run. Hey, the draft is coming up, so he might be going from SmackDown to Raw and possibly going for the Intercontinental Championship, which I will, if hopefully whoever he go against, we're not going to say who yet, continues the title run. That would be a great match. We'll discuss that during night 2. But
yeah, LA Knight definitely he should be going a little higher on the card now. So what's above the United States? Intercontinental. So yeah, it's like if it's not Intercontinental, then he needs to go for World Heavyweight.
Yeah.
So regardless, there should be a handoff and a level up. So yeah, I did like LA Knight's entrance though.
Yeah.
When he pulled up in that car and when he rolled the window down, he had the funniest look on his face. Like it was cool. Who's next?
The next one we have is the WWE Women's Championship. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair.
Botchamania.
Pretty much.
This was a botch fest. Oh my gosh, like
this match was a letdown.
Now this one actually looked like they really didn't like each other, because it looked like somebody was sandbagging somebody. Like
right.
I mean, it was like you could just see dead weight anytime there was like an attempt at a body slam or maybe a suplex. It was just like, man, what is going on? Like, we thought y'all were like really working together and starting to develop a story. But then all of a sudden, it's like you see the match, and it, man, did y'all? The match was so sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was hard to watch.
It was disappointing. This match, at this point, could have just been on SmackDown.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame because we've seen better matches from both women. Obviously, we've seen great matches from Charlotte Flair. But man, Tiffany, I don't know. It's like I like the fact that she won, but at the same time, it almost looked like, man, maybe you're not ready for this belt,
right?
You know, for this spot. But I just think there was just really bad chemistry between them, and honestly, I don't ever want to see them wrestle each other again if it's gonna be like that. No, thank you.
No. Moving on from that. Speaking of possibly not wrestling each other again, we have the main event of night one: CM Punk with Paul Heyman versus Seth Rollins and versus OTC Roman Reigns. The swerve of the night. Seth Rollins outsmarted both of them. He has proven why he's the architect. He has proven why he's the best. He has proven why he's the GOAT. And then he straight up went genius mode, not God mode, genius mode. He basically planted the seed, almost like if he was doing it the whole time.
Well, it's one of them situations where Seth was playing chess while everybody else was playing checkers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he kept saying this is for the future of the industry. You know, he's gonna do what's best for business. Hey, careful. You're starting to sound like The Rock.
Right.
Take it easy.
Which is actually the question of like everyone. Is Seth gonna be with The Rock?
Well, if you think about like his entrance, it was a heavy symbolism where he burned everything to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
To rebuild something new, something better, something that we all need to see, and we all need to be open to it. Because it's all for the what's
John
best
Moxley
for business.
Better than John Moxley.
Yeah.
In a way.
Or he's gonna do that visionary thing that he was doing. What was it, like during the pandemic?
Mm-hmm.
When he really started doing that. Maybe this could be a better version of that, thanks to The Rock. No, I don't like. I would love to. I would love to see if Seth is the third person within that little Hollywood circle, or
right.
within whatever they're calling it. This match. This was. I guess this was the best match on the card.
Because something needed to happen.
By default,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just because of the star power, and then the fact that we're fighting over Paul Heyman, and made that somehow feel important and interesting. And then when it comes to the match, aside from the finish spams, the match was actually really good. Like they told the story of like Seth and Roman, being Shield partners, and the teases that they had during the match. Then you have like Roman showing his dominance. He's powerbombing, both Seth and CM Punk through tables. You have the chaos of fighting through the crowd, throwing trash cans at each other and stuff. Like, you had a little bit of everything. And you also had betrayal.
Yeah, the drama.
Talk about the drama.
It all started with Paul Heyman handing CM Punk the chair. Roman thought Paul Heyman betrayed him. CM Punk believed that Paul Heyman was on his side. Next minute you see Paul Heyman walking beside CM Punk, and then he did the unthinkable. Low blow CM Punk. That's supposed to be his best friend for 10 plus years. And the only thing Paul Heyman could tell him, look what you made me do. Look what you made me do.
Yo, because you left me for 10 years.
Yeah.
You thought I would look. He's the wise man. He ain't the dumb man. Okay, you just waltz in here talking about favors and whatnot. You left me for 10 years, yo. I was starving until the tribal chief showed up.
Exactly.
And now we all eating.
And then, speaking of the tribal chief, he thinking Paul Heyman's on his side. Then he's telling him, "Oh, my tribal chief attacked Seth Rollins."
I mean, hey, he handed him a steel chair. Okay, he's standing behind his tribal chiefs in full support until he needs them the most, right? And then boom, hits him with the low blow. I mean, he even grind that arm up and down, side to side, like put a little sauce on it. I mean, yeah, like we had 2 betrayals in one match. I mean, Seth standing there while this is all happening with his back turned to Roman, waiting to get hit with a chair because he knows it's coming, right? Because he deserves it.
But he also knew that Paul Heyman was on his side.
And that's why he's the architect.
The visionary.
He constructed all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because he said he was going to do what's best for business. And he's a visionary. So he sees something that the rest of us don't see yet. So it's up to him to lead the way. He said it was for the future of this business, for this industry.
Yeah.
And he's going to do what's best for business. So I'm curious to see where they go from here with Seth and Paul Heyman,
yeah.
what that dynamic's going to be.
We're just going to have to wait till Monday.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Well, that concludes for night 1. We're going to now move on to night 2. And ladies and gentlemen, I believe night 2 stole the night, minus the main event. The first match we're going to discuss for night 2 is going to be Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Bloody Ripley.
Rhea looked really good in this match.
Yeah.
Rhea looked legit, okay? But at the same time, the EST was showing you why she's the toughest, the quickest, the baddest, the blah, 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 blah. Why she all that in a bag of chips, okay? Bianca was no slouch in this match. And this match made me want to see the one-on-one match between Bianca and Rhea even more.
Yeah.
Now, Bianca and Rhea lost the match, but I believe neither one of them need the belt right now. Well, needs the title right now. I think this story between Bianca and Rhea is just getting started, and now we don't have to worry about a title.
Yeah.
So they can get real creative with their storyline. And like I was discussing with you earlier, I think Rhea and Bianca should be pushed like The Rock and Stone Cold, which led to their multiple WrestleMania matches. And, you know, just their feud was like the feud, right, in the Attitude Era. And Bianca and Rhea could be that for the women's division. Like, they don't have to be like the horsewomen or whatever. They could be something totally different. I mean, these two come across bigger anyways. So I would love to see this really be the thing to get the ball rolling on a very long rivalry between Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley.
Well, like I said before, they are having the draft soon. So the question is, are they going to draft? Because I don't see Rhea leaving Raw anytime soon. But I can see Raw drafting Bianca.
Yeah. Which would be really good. Because it just seems like Raw focuses more on story, and they usually have time for the talking segments, like, to really play out. And I mean, Raw's very consistent with storytelling. SmackDown seems to be more work rate, more longer matches, and, you know, and a few segments here and there in video packages. But like Raw, like, everything has time to breathe, and you just have more time for storytelling.
Well, as everyone knows, Io Sky has retained. Basically, we had Bianca hit Rhea Ripley with the kiss of death. And then when she went for the pin for Rhea Ripley, you have Io Sky hitting her finisher over the moonsault, going for the 1-2-3, pinning Bianca. Which means Bianca is no longer undefeated for WrestleMania.
Yeah, I didn't like that. But, I mean, Io had to retain. Somebody had to take the L. I hate the fact that it was Bianca, but it is what it is. I mean, it was in a triple threat match, but one-on-one, she's never lost at WrestleMania, so she still got that for, you know, at least.
Yeah.
So maybe that's how they'll present it. She's never lost a one-on-one match at WrestleMania. There it is. But I mean, I did like the finish. The finish was cool. You know,
I feel like all three ladies put on a banger, honestly. Like, the crowd was into it. Like, there was like no silent moment. You had people booing Bianca, cheering for Io, cheering for Ripley, obviously. And it's like, the more they keep booing for Bianca, is keep asking yourself, is Bianca finally gonna flip the switch? Because clearly these people are not feeling your, baby face.
True, but
character.
hey, can't forget to mention they did cheer for her a
Yeah,
few times
yeah.
during the match. So it's like, that's what let me know it's not that they don't like her. They want her to change.
Yeah.
The same way Naomi changed. And now look at Naomi.
Naomi, yeah. Because like we said in her match, she pretty much carried it. She showed more charisma. All Jade was doing was yelling. So it's like Naomi, talking her junk and stuff. But it's like now her character is proceed with caution. So they need to actually make her a little more stronger. And she does need to get her lip back from Jade.
She either needs to, I don't think it's a matter of looking strong. She needs to be more diabolical and cunning and conniving. She needs to use underhanded tactics. Sneak behind the referee, hit her with a weapon if you have to, choke her, thumb to the eye, whatever. Like, she needs to be more like that. And she's creative, obviously. She does like all these unique moves and things. So I'm pretty sure she could figure out how to cheat to win if need be. Because proceed with caution, she's gonna do whatever it takes. So she needs to come across like that. Now with Bianca, like that's why I say I believe the fans are trying to just express that, like, look, we want to see something different with you now. Okay, like you are a girl and everything, but look, we ain't feeling this regular babyface thing no more. Switch it up.
Yeah, because this whole ESC, to me, that's more of an arrogant thing to be saying. It's like when Roxanne finally put it together, she called herself the Prodigy, and I'm like, but why are you being such a babyface? Like, that's more of an arrogant, character to me too. So it's like with Bianca, she has the attitude to be a great heel. And it's like when she turns heel finally, then she'll be in full form, the full EST of WWE. But right now we have Io retaining. Honestly, I was very shocked that she retained, but at the same time, it's good because now she could put in more reps in. She has been putting in the work. She's still the crowd's favorite. So I'm just really interested.
You could throw different opponents at her too. Like, you can give new opponents a chance, like people that haven't really took a swing at the championship. So you have that. That's why I say this is good for the women's division, because now you have the heavy hitters, Bianca and Rhea, not in the title picture. They're over here fighting to the side, telling their story. You have Io, who now people, they look at her size, so they're not afraid to challenge. Don't mean they're gonna win, but now we get more people, new opponents in the mix. And we all know Io isn't a talker. She doesn't know much English, so this will give somebody else some mic time to really try and build a story with Io. So yeah, I think everything that happened was the right call. And somehow they turned a nothing story into a very interesting story, and which led to a really good match. And it was like, the crowd was with it the whole time. So I already, like, while this match was happening, I say, yo, night 2 is definitely gonna be better than night 1.
And it sure was.
Yeah.
The next match we have is the Sin City Street Fight. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. The winner is Drew McIntyre, and I feel like this is going to be Drew's revenge tour.
Yeah, I said it before. Drew has to start winning now. He has to start proving the doubters wrong. He said he's gonna pray for it. It needs to happen from here on out. You know, and like he took all the L's before.
Right.
Now it's like, okay, I can't just talk about it. I gotta show you. So now he's gonna convert the naysayers into believers, and he's gonna go on this tour. And look, I pray for the ones that Drew prays for, okay? Because we're gonna get a new Drew McIntyre. I mean, we saw some viciousness in this match. I like the fact that they kind of just they threw the tables in. This looked like two guys that didn't like each other. Yeah, this looked like two gladiators. So, I mean, this match was very entertaining. I mean, I didn't like the story going into the match, but I know that these two usually put on a good match and everything, and it was a good. It ended up being a pairing that I didn't think I would like. So
yeah, and to end the match, you had Drew McIntyre hitting one of his finisher, the Claymore kick, to Damian Priest with the chair between the ropes. Oh my
gosh, yes, that was the best concerto I've ever seen.
And honestly, that was the best way to end the match and to give Drew his props, because 2024 he put in a great work. 2025 to me, he's still putting in a great work. And I hope down the road, if they do King of the Ring, that he wins it and actually wins the title, no matter which title it is, and could be a decent title reign and not no transitional champion or none of that stuff. Because clearly Drew is one of the also hottest superstars they have. You know, he's really big in social media and everything. So, speaking of big, hold
on, real quick. Which spot did you like in that Drew versus Damian match? When Damian went through the table, through two tables, mm-hmm. Or when Damian gave Drew the razor's edge through the table?
I feel like I like both. Both guys put on a great performance. I was more scared when Damian went through the table, because that announce table is not too far from y'all sometimes.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So next up we have the Randy Orton Open Challenge. To everybody's surprise, we get Joe Hendry. His music hits. Everybody believes
in Joe Hendry.
Yeah, so that was just a nice surprise, but ultimately we all knew Randy Orton was gonna win. Hits Joe Hendry. What would he hit him with? 2 RKOs or 3?
That's about.
Yeah. And then he posed and that was it. So what was next?
Moving on from that match, we have Lyra Valkyria and a special guest handpick versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for the Tag Team Women's Champion.
So we get the champions. They came out first, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then you get Lyra coming out. She's got these long wings or whatever.
Beautiful.
Okay. But also boring, because like she's like zero charisma. All right. Then we get the mystery partner. And who is it?
The man, Becky Lynch.
Yeah, we get Becky, and we're all supposed to forget that she was stale before she left. So there's that.
But the crowd had a good reaction when she came back,
Yeah.
But we'll see how long that lasts, because her back, and you still have Rhea, who's hot. Then you have Liv, who's hot, which actually I was really surprised that they made Becky. I was surprised and not surprised, because I was hoping for Liv and them to retain, because Liv is still, putting on a great performance from 2024 to 2025, and I feel like they would have did decent. But I guess we did have some whispers with people complaining that Liv deserved better. She was a women's champion. Now I put her on this tag team belt thing. So I do see why it's better for Becky and Lyra to win, because I am hoping that whoever attacked Bailey, it was Lyra. Because remember, she looked up to Bailey growing up. She looked up to the man. I know some of us get tired of these kind of storylines, but sometimes we need these storylines for certain people to get that heat and get the crowd more involved into them. Versus,
it would be like a nice gatekeeping
yes,
storyline where almost like Lyra, not, I don't want to say legend killer, but we need that type of aggression with her heel. Like, if she ever turns heel, it needs to be one of those where it's like, you know, I put a feather or in my whatever every time she goes to battle and she comes out the victor, right? So every time she's victorious, she's like a collector. So she wants to be the best, which means she's got to take out the best.
Yeah.
So she, of course, she'd go for Bailey. She got close to the man, Becky Lynch, only to eventually betray her. Right. She needs to be the last betrayal, or she needs to be the last, you know.
Betraying Becky will be better for Lyra, especially Becky returning. She got the crowd, you know, engaged with her for right now. So it's like she turns heel, the crowd will be against Lyra, but they won't forget about Lyra, because it's like someone else we know, because we don't want to be too much in this topic. The Fatal 4-Way, Penta, Braun Breaker versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Champion. And
hold on, before we go there, we do have new tag team champions, women's tag team champions. Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch won, so there's that. You got 2 belts Lyra now. Yeah. Just like when Becky was 2 belts. Because if anybody noticed, when Becky returned, she wore her outfit she wore before, I believe it was WrestleMania 35 or something, when it was Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair, and her. Granted, she's not the same size or the same, you know, the hair's not as big. But that's how we should all know Lyra's going to be 2 belts Lyra. You feel like there's some foreshadowing.
Yeah. So, moving on from that topic, we going to retrace back to the Fatal 4-Way Intercontinental Championship with Penta versus Finn Balor versus the champion Braun Breaker versus Dominic Mysterio. Most of us predicted Dominic. Some people predicted Penta, but I am so glad Dirty Dom has won a title shot, because that is a big moment for him. You had Finn Balor, who was hating on him, saying he's always a loser. Braun Breaker and his little talk, you know, press conference that, oh, Dominic is not even a factor, you know, to the point that when the match started, Braun Breaker threw everybody else, pinned Dominic, trying to go for a 1-2-3 that fast as soon as the match started. And honestly, if they do Dominic right, he will be a great Intercontinental Champion, because he actually has charisma. He's a great, I guess they're trying to make him a tweener now, because I'm really hoping he doesn't go full baby face, because ever since he betrayed his dad, this dude has skyrocketed. When he was at the Judgment Day, I was more focused on him and Rhea Ripley than anybody. Now that he's doing the storyline for right now with Liv, it's like him and Liv, you know, is doing a phenomenal job work. And granted, unfortunately, Liv lost the belt, so they won't be celebrating tonight. But I'm happy for Dominic for being the new Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, this was a really good match. I thought everybody looked good in this match. We felt like Dominic would win this match. I wanted Braun Breaker to win and, you know, actually have a meaningful title reign, but that's 2 times Braun Breaker won the Intercontinental belt and did nothing. Right. There was like no creative for him. So like I'm just hoping that they either, I don't know, I don't want to say repackage Braun Breaker, but just to at least take the wrapper off, you know, and like let's actually do something with them. So I'm curious to see where Braun Breaker goes from here. Penta looked good. I want to see what feud he's gonna have next. Dominic and Finn, of course, they could run that back. Like they're not finished with their feud.
Well, yeah, because
Finn's gonna feel like he deserves to be the first challenger. You already know how that goes.
But then there's this thing like Dominic could switch it around because if anybody didn't really see the match, you have Dominic basically did the 619 on Braun Breaker when he was going for the frog splash. You have Finn Balor tripped him during the ropes.
Oh yeah.
To the point that he basically attacked Braun, hit him with his coup de grace, and then you see out of nowhere the crowd stood up, and then you see Dominic hit the frog splash, pin Finn Balor for the 1, 2, 3. When I mean this dude did not give a he is cheering outside the ring in front of Finn. Finn's just looking at him like, this dude just really pinned me. Like, we're supposed to be brothers. Dude, that stuff hit the fan when you thought Dominic was just a weak, naive kid. But now he is our new Intercontinental Champion. He is our new Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to a Dominic Mysterio title reign.
Yep.
I want to see what type of opponents they give him. Who else is gonna benefit from Dominic being the Intercontinental Champion? Yeah, this is one more thing to look forward to. So,
and I hope he doesn't have a short title reign because he actually is a great wrestler. He cuts great promos. He's great in the ring. And it's like, what more do you need? For such a young age, he has really blossomed. And he showed that, putting in all this work, obviously the crowd loves him. I don't know how that happened, but the crowd loves him. And he really didn't change nothing with his character. Just stay the same. Calling Rey Mysterio his deadbeat and everything. I really hope they do not make him a baby face. I like Tweener Dom, that's fine. When the New Day was trying to confront Dominic about, oh, you don't like us too? And he was just like, I wouldn't even do that. But it's like, that's coming from the dude who attacked his own father in front of everybody. So I'm looking forward to a successful title reign for Dominic Mysterio and not a short title reign.
Well, if we're talking Tweener Dominic, I think it's gonna be along the lines of like how MJF, he's our scumbag.
Yeah.
So it'll be something like that with Dominic, where it's like we know he's bad, but it's Dominic, so we're cool with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the next match, we're not really gonna talk too much about it, but you have AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. We have Logan Paul for the win. Basically, one of Logan Paul's friends trying to interfere by giving Logan Paul the brass knuckles. Then you have Karrion Kross out of nowhere trying to assist AJ Styles by taking the brass knuckles away from Logan Paul's friend. Trying to give it to AJ Styles actually because, if most people don't know, Karrion Kross been working really hard, I guess, to make AJ turn dark side.
Yeah, trying to manipulate him.
Exactly. But instead, AJ Styles grabbed the brass knuckles and threw it. With that distraction, Logan Paul was able to hit AJ Styles with his finisher, sort of 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I mean this match was good. It was short. It did what it needed to do. It was just one more good match on the card, and that was it. Logan Paul gets the win. AJ takes the L. Doesn't hurt AJ. He looked good in the losing effort, and we carry on to the next match.
I feel like this match was a stepping stone for Logan Paul and create a storyline between AJ Styles and Karrion Kross.
Gives him more cred, yeah.
Yeah. So, to conclude night 2, we have the main event. We have Cody Rhodes, the champion, versus John Cena for the undisputed championship. And we have a record-breaking John Cena is now call himself a 17-time WWE champion.
I liked the story, with heel turn from Cena, and some of the promos, not all of them, but some of the promos, like when they finally started talking face to face, and really throwing some shots at each other, and when they got physical, okay, so here we are with the match, and the match is decent. Like, it wasn't, it was by no means match of the weekend or anything like that. I would give that to, if we're talking just WrestleMania story, maybe the triple threat from night one.
Yeah.
That clearly woke up the crowd on night one. And then they had the surprise betrayal, double betrayal. Okay, so there's that. And
I'm starting to think, because the Raw didn't show up tonight.
No.
For Sunday. And the only person that came out was, that rapper.
Travis Scott.
Yes. And it's like, is John Cena working with The Rock?
I think he is. I mean,
you still think he is?
Travis Scott came out there, helped him win, and he was holding his hand up and everything after the match. So
good news
clearly that's a group, Travis Scott is basically to John Cena and The Rock in
someone
that group.
In that group,
like Dennis Rodman was when the NWO, had celebrities in the NWO. So he does a little bit of hands-on stuff, just enough to help tell the story. But I don't think we're gonna see Travis Scott wrestling or nothing like that.
I would say I feel like there was also a botch in this match. The ref went down first. That's when I believe John Cena pushed Cody or something happened. And you just see the ref on the ground, and Travis Scott saw him, and it took him forever.
Yeah, he took forever
to get to the ring. So it's like, I feel like they had to.
John Cena was looking at him the whole time, and they kept showing John Cena looking, and John Cena had to be thinking, if you don't get your ass down here, dude, you take it forever. And Cody's facing him. And Cody has to be thinking, oh my God, dude, I have to sell for this the entire time until he gets down here. Mm-hmm. And meanwhile, Travis Scott is literally taking baby steps to the ring.
Because I feel like he was supposed to punch Cody, but he got there so late. It just showed like, hey, the ref is there, don't really punch him, because then it's a DQ, then you ruin the whole story.
Right.
So it turns to... they had to find another way to knock the ref down this time. And then you see Cody was able to get his revenge back from Travis Scott by hitting him with the Cody cutter.
Right.
Which also backfired for him.
Or the Crossroads.
Sorry. Which backfired for him because John Cena ended up cheating to win. Hit Cody with the title.
1, 2, 3.
And a new record breaking. John Cena is now 17-time WWE World Champion with the undisputed title. So my question is he going to retire it? Is someone going to take it off? Because, the draft's coming up, so will it be Gunther?
Do we get the spinner belt? Just because he knows a lot of people didn't like that belt.
And his entrance, he really didn't. He played a song, right? But it was like pitch black, like, this is like a funeral match. Like, I'm not even going to be hyped for you guys. Even when they announced him as a challenger, he just looked around and walked away. Didn't even put his hands up or nothing. Like, John Cena is really showing these fans, like, I am done being your puppet. And now that Cody lost his title, I wonder if he's going to open his eyes soon and stop being the cross puppet, because... Las Vegas was booing him too. They was more into John Cena winning than Cody winning.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was hoping for some kind of swerve where Cody Rhodes was actually the one that was let's say auditioning to join The Rock. Mm-hmm. When now think this is Hollywood. This is like some Illuminati type of group that The Rock formed. So we know that there's like humiliation rituals and blood sacrifice, stuff like that, right? So with this, Cody getting beat down it's like he sacrificed himself to sell his soul, right? And the swerve could have been when Travis Scott came down. John Cena's thinking, okay, this guy's gonna help me win, and then we're gonna go celebrate. And when Travis Scott got on the apron and John Cena's up, Cody's up, let's say John Cena's holding Cody for Travis Scott to hit him. Cody ducks, Travis Scott hits John Cena instead. But then there's a situation like, maybe Cody looks at Travis Scott, he looks at John Cena. Travis Scott looks at Cody, nods his head. Cody smiles. The camera zooms in on him. The crowd goes crazy. And then they both proceed to beat down Cena. And stop him from making history. Like, you know what I mean? This could have been like a longer chase for Cena. I don't know. Like, because do you think Cena's going to stay heel or eventually turn face before he retires?
I hope he stays heel, because to me it doesn't make any sense to all of a sudden go babyface. Like, this is your last ride. You might as well make it memorable. Him turning on Cody was the talk, besides the Charlotte and Tiffany, promo. Him turning on Cody was like one of the eye openers for everybody. Remember, people thought it was gonna be Drew, CM Punk, Roman again. So it's like when you see John Cena at the Elimination Chamber pretty much beat Cody to a bloody pulp, it's like, why do all that just to go back babyface?
Yeah,
that makes no sense.
Well, it would have, like, let's say if they would have did something like where Cody actually sold his soul to The Rock, right? We get a brief moment of John Cena being heel, and then it's the easiest way to turn him face again. But this time you actually care that he's face, because now Cody's heel, right? And then you tell that story, and eventually John Cena wins and takes it off of Cody. But because he retires, he vacates the title.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So now we're left with heel Cody. We finally had a reason to turn him heel. And then we get babyface Cena, but we also got that sample of heel Cena. You know what I mean? And then he can ride off into the sunset.
Well,
just book it, Triple H.
Well, like I said again, we have a new undisputed champion, John Cena. So now we're just going to see how his title reign is going to be until he retires.
Well, I do know one thing. Night 2 was definitely better than Night 1.
Yeah, definitely. Like, the crowd was awake.
From the start. The crowd was into every match. The crowd was just up and loud the entire time for Night 2. So, I guess we just had to get through Night 1.
Yeah, because the only highlight for Night 1 was, the main event and the Jacob Fatu. Really wasn't crazy about the Tiffany and Charlotte as we all was looking forward to. And then the triple threat match with Io, Bianca, and Rhea. Those ladies tore the house down, and Io still retains. So basically we had a lot of title changes, and we have very minimum retained titles.
Yeah. I mean, overall, I could have just watched Night 2 and been happy, and that would have been enough WrestleMania for me. Night 1, it just was a nothing show. It was basically more time to show their advertisements. That's all I got from Night 1.
Exactly. It wasn't. So, do you have any more thoughts and anything regarding Night 1 and Night 2?
I just want to say that thank you guys for checking us out and subscribing. Just want to let you guys know that we are in the process of working on going live, so just be aware and look out for that. This is why it's important to turn on the notification bell, so that when we do go live, you guys, get a notification and you can come join us. So we look forward to doing that. And until next time, stay tuned. You're listening to the Wrestling Bubble with Richard and Anna.
And please like and subscribe and leave your comments below regarding your opinion for WrestleMania 41 Night 1 and 2.